Welcome everybody. Today we are going to work on Eric's bus. His bus's name is Merle. All of the vehicles that we work on have names. That's just the way we are, old VWs. Volkswagens have a personality, kind of like Herbie. So this is Merle. I'm just doing the paint work on this one. Eric stripped it down. So I'm doing all the metal work and the paint work. Today what I'm going to do is take care of working on this smashed up rear corner here in the battery tray. There's our patch panels. So we're going to take care of fixing all this. I'll basically cut that off and go from there. So let me get things squared away here and set up, and I'll come back and give you a tour of today's project. All right, we're all set up. First thing I want to do is we're going to cut this old chunk out of here. And I'm just going to set this up here so I got an idea, but this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to come along like this and do a little bit at a time. Don't want to cut too much. And what I'm going to use is the laser cutter. Looks like I got a helper with the camera. Let's see where we can come across. As you can see, this works awesome. So that's that part of it. Now I've got to go through, and I don't want to cut all the way up to here because I want to slowly work that stuff off. I got to cut this battery tray out of here. But that's how cool this is. So what we'll do is I'll cut some more out of here, and I'll come back and show you what I all have cut off. All right. I'm back. So I've got everything, all the old panel cut out of there. Just got to trim that up there. This was all smashed up, so I had to make a piece for that. We'll go in here. Our battery tray goes in there like such. And then we have our corner piece, which, well, okay. Now this is sticking out here, obviously. This metal has to get cut off. Once that does, that'll pull over. So, what I need to do now is cut here. It's going to be that line. I'm going to try something different. That normally I would take my cutoff wheel. But we're going to make an attempt and try to do it with the laser. See what happens. So you guys are going to be my guinea pig. Get some tape here. Very interested to see if this is going to work. I mean, I've only had the laser about 2 months. Oops. And it works great for the cleaning purposes. And what I'm doing is I'm putting this on here so I can take my laser edge and go right across there. I'm not the steadiest person at times. I got my glasses. Oh, I got the laser. So what I'm going to attempt to do here is just follow this along and hopefully cut both of them at the same time. So, did it work? Yeah. That cut off deep enough. Pretty close. It wasn't. I suppose if I turned up the wattage on the laser, it probably would have. I mean, it definitely put an edge in there. Ouch. Yeah, I would say the next time I try it, it looks like this is a good idea. If I turn the wattage up, I think I've only got it on like 800. Give it a little more cutting power, it would probably go right through this. Let's see here. Well, looks like I was a little very close. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hit it again. Get a little more gap there than I'd like, but we're going to hit this again. That'll do. I like that. Heck of a lot easier than grinding it with the grind off wheel. I'll be able to adjust and clean that up a little bit with the grinder. Alright, so what I'm going to do next, I'm going to switch the laser over to the cleaning mode, and then I'm going to come through and I'm going to burn all this rust off inside here. So let me switch that over and I'll come back and show you how that works. Okay. Alright, got the laser machine switched over to the cleaning mode. A different tip on there. So what I'm going to go through is I'm going to clean up all of this rust with this, and it's pretty slick. This is pretty cool. So let me put my respirator and glasses on, and we'll do some zapping. Okay, here we go. Okay. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to just light wire brush that and wipe it down. I'm going to mix up some epoxy primer, and I'm going to spray all inside of here so it don't rust again, hopefully. This really makes it nice for getting inside like this when you take it apart. You know, in the past all I could really do is either wire brush or wire wheel it the best I could and then treat it with some rust. Sandblasting, yeah, that does work, but that makes a mess too, and a lot of cleanup. So I'm gonna finish cleaning this up, and I'm gonna put some epoxy primer on, and I'll show you what it looks like when that's done. Welcome back. We've got our epoxy sprayed on. That's dry. Did that yesterday afternoon. Here we are the next day, so good morning. That'll at least protect all this in here again. One thing that I also do is I do not like e-coating. So I strip the e-coating off and I epoxy primer it. Now I haven't done the outside there yet, but that's because I can get at it. But I have done the inside. I've had bad luck and seen bad luck with e-coating. I think it's more of just a temporary rust protection that a lot of times I've seen it flake off. If you prime, even if you scuff it and prime over it, it flakes off down the road. It just doesn't have the adhere to the metal very well. And there's been times when I have stripped it off that I've seen little rust spots underneath the metal. So my advice, get rid of the e-coating or whatever coating is on your patch panels and put a good epoxy on there. It's just going to help for the longevity. We're going to run into issues in certain areas where you can't get to the back side after you welded, but that's where a nice cavity wax will work in there. So, but what we're going to do here this morning, set you down, we're going to start fitting this. Most of it's been fit, but I'm going to start prepping it to weld it on. And what I'm going to do is I've got this little piece. Here's my marker. So this is going to go right here. And what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to put a mark on both sides here. Roughly where spot welds would go. That's what we're going to do. And I should be able to spot weld there, there, there. So I will end up welding this, and then I will use what I have here. The Harbor Freight spot welder. I purchased that a couple years ago. Works really good. Saves a ton of time. Instead of me having to drill out holes in here and plug weld it, put that on there, and it looks more factory. So that's that piece. We have our battery tray. I'm going to put that in. I'm going to take the chance. I'm going to put that in after I have the outside panel on. Just at least get it started, because I will be spot welding this, and it's going to help me get the spot welder in without having this panel inside there. The spot welder is not light. I'm getting older. Gives you a good workout. But so I will leave that out, and I'll mark that stuff. Actually, you know what? I think I will mark it now because it'll be hard to get at from the other side. That'll be all we're going to get there. And the reason I'm marking this is we're going to have to, you can't spot weld through the primer. So what I will end up doing is I'll take my grinder and I'll grind a little spot and clean the epoxy off of there. That way we'll get a good spot weld. We can do this one too. Let's do this. So we'll have to clean paint off both sides, but I'll be able to do that ahead of time at least. I'm still going to put this in after, but at least I'll clean those up. And here is our other panel. Now these edges where it goes into here, that I'll have to drill holes and I'll have to do a plug weld. I obviously can't spot weld it. But I'm going to do the same thing here. They had like a million spot welds from the factory. I couldn't use my spot welder drill to get them out. They were like way too close together. I'm going to cheat and I won't be putting in a million of them. I only went this high. I'd be surprised if I can get to that one. This one I might be able to get at by coming up at an angle. This one for sure I should get at. But, so we gotta mark our backside so we can go in there and grind. Very important to get a good weld. Yeah, I'm sure I won't get those other top two. I'm not even going to mark them on the inside. Is get all your primer off where you're welding so you get a good weld. So I'm going to stop for a bit here. I'll clean this up and then I'll come back and we'll start welding it on. Alrighty?